go the flags, and it is indeed Redcliffe 12, Logan 6.
Smart thinking by Glen Eyre to realise there was no one at home, and there was no one within Cooey. No fullback in Ireland, no halfback in Lindsay coming across. He sums it up beautifully, just steps off his left, straightens up, gets it onto the right boot, slots it between a couple of players, and it's as easy as that. But mind you, that's great hands. He got down low. That ball didn't bounce all that high in the end. That was very skillful work by Glen Eyre.
Time our run, fellas.
Especially given the fact that the ball is obviously slippery, and so when you're taking it down around your ankles and have to have control of it and then reach out and score the try. Oh, I thought for a moment, oh, this is interesting. He's knocked it on in the end goal in the end, because there must have been in their mind, do we let it go? But it looked like it was going to bounce just inside the dead ball line.
Well, what a spectacular finish to this one. Just touched there. Yeah, well, he got himself into that position. The ball certainly knocked on. This is a great chance now for Logan. They've been the ones who've suffered from making mistakes, perhaps. Now the Dolphins may suffer the same fate. Great kick that from Gould, indication of the strength of the breeze. Gets it to go about 56 metres on the fly. Sean Ireland want to hang on to this one, and the tackle has come in a touch high from Bob Campbell.
Over, yep, rolled around his neck. Come over.
And he will be called over.
Mate, I don't want him around his neck. I want him down. Okay, keep him down for us. Yes, thanks.
Let's have another look at it. Ireland straightens it up. And there's Campbell coming over the top, just above the shoulders. And now a great chance for Logan. Cameron Durnford, good strong run, gets it up to the 10-metre line. That's a good platform and a good quick play the ball to go with it as well. Clayton Marr wants another one. He gets it to 5 metres, can't break the line of defence. To Sousis, nice long pass out to Lindsay. If they get it wider, they'll be in business. O'Regan lets one go, out to Bowman. Nice defence in the end, brought down by Olzard. Little run out of dummy half. Shilbot can't get there, but he's only a millimetre short. Must get deep here to be able to get the ball wide. The ball's been stolen.
No, roll out of there.
They'll get another 6 to
Same
go
thing
on with
before,
here.
you nearly knocked the bloke over.
Not clearing the plate. There's a hand in there. Well, that's just that's silly stuff, really. Another 6 tackles now for Logan. Damien Durnford, the settler, the mandatory settler. Lindsay, Clayton Marr hits it up strongly. The defence there to welcome him. Adam Starr, his opposite number. Lindsay, pass up to Crilly. Crilly, I thought was going to let Dutton go, but instead found him and almost got through, running a nice little angle. Down Crilly, up to Lindsay. Long pass out here to Terry O'Regan, just gets on the outside, tries to offload, does out to Bowman. Bowman throws the dummy, looks for Shilbot, can't find him. Least did pretty well there to get to him to block the pass. Lindsay got a player coming back on the inside in Durnford. Cameron Durnford to play it. This has been good defence from the Dolphins. They managed to hold out for 5. To Sousis down the blind side up there to Brett Bowman. Bowman close. Has he got it down? I think
hold on.
No. Just held up on the last tackle.
You think he dropped it? He did drop it.
Okay,
we're going
lost
back
the ball over the try line, so it'll come back for a 20-metre tap. Let's have another look at it. Bowman goes hard. The defence by Lease at the top there. Does he get it down? Wow, I think he did. I think he scored that.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a try.
Both officials thought otherwise.
He had his hands on it. There were other hands as well, but the most important thing is the guy that was carrying the ball, and he didn't seem to lose it. So there's an argument, I guess, for your argument, Warren, of having the referee, allowing the referee to come and have a look at your monitor.
Exactly, though the Redcliffe knees were arriving almost simultaneously. It was a very close thing, just as we watch the injured player from Logan. But I'm also wondering, mind you, they went very close there, Logan, whether or not they might try that bomb to the left wing of Redcliffe again. They had success against Isra Abadki. Out there at the moment is Barry Denduck on the left wing. They're both short players, not very tall at all, so why not put the bomb up and have those chasers coming through?
Scott Sousis is the man who's injured, and he's going from the field. So it looks like he'll be replaced.
He's been very effective today, as usual, to Sousis. Runs out of dummy half extremely well. Now Redcliffe will be relieved that they didn't concede the try there, and with around about 15 minutes up to half-time, they'll be keen to get it out of their own territory. Bob Campbell up the blind side.
This is 4.
That's the fourth right on the halfway line. Adam Starr wants to take another one, so Redcliffe not taking any chances. They Starr pops it out the back door up to Roberts. Roberts fires the pass out. Nice little ball out there to Bishop, and he's lost it. And
he wondered about his decision to attempt to get rid of the ball, because when he was making up his mind to do that, it looked like he was fairly well effectively held. And so it was always a chance it was going to be spilt.
The handling has not been good. These are wet weather footballs. They should be able to hang on to them. I know that it's even the NRL level players seem to be having some difficulty, but and even the passers at times aren't confident and precise in their passing, which does indicate the ball is somehow slippery.
Nice little backline movement here from Logan, finding out to Russell, but Redcliffe never really in a great deal of trouble. To Darren Crilly, he's driven back. Redcliffe defence just seemed to be going up a cog. Dean Rorschley goes low and hard, the old elbows and knees, requiring the quick play the ball, or desiring the quick play the ball. Damien Durnford, strong defence again over the top there by Luke Scott. He's been busy today. Brendan Lindsay throws the dummy back on the inside, fires the pass out nicely to Sean Ireland. He gets him up over the 40. Will we see the high ball this time that Warren was calling for? Lindsay hoisted in the air. It's gone fairly deep though. Could be an awkward bounce. And Barry Denduck and also Adam Mogg quite relieved to see it just bounce forward and over the dead ball line, and the Dolphins to get the 20-metre tap.
Yeah, his previous kick where he just put it high and allowed the wind to hold it was a more effective one, I think. And that time Ryan Russell, in following him through, had no chance of getting anywhere near it. So it was just a little bit too deep with the kick. And so they didn't apply the pressure.
Yeah, Jerry, whether that's a miss kick hitting it too deep, but even if you're 40 metres out, just put it up in the air, let it come down on the 20. If it's high enough and the pressure's there, well, it works just the same.
And as you were saying, Barry Denduck is short, and by comparison, Ryan Russell perhaps just a little bit taller than him. And it's always good to see an aerial battle. Adam Mogg, who is very tall, but is able to get the pass away to Scott, and now to Rob Campbell. He makes it to the halfway. Fifth tackle for Redcliffe. They lead by 12-6. And the kick from Glen Eyre is going to go right down the throat of Ryan Russell, just outside his own 20. So meeting the defensive wall, James Hinchy up there, and so also was Damien Richters. This is Grant Dutton. They're 15 from halfway. Logan now trailing by 6 points, of course. And still they work their way towards that halfway mark through Crilly. On this side, a man who's put in a tremendous effort today, Clayton Marr. He's always willing to show up and do his share of the work. The offload now, Rorschley getting it away, spilt by Cameron Durnford, and Redcliffe come up with it. Just 10 metres short of the halfway in their own territory, leading by 6. Not too much room over there, and Lease realises that the best thing is to come back inside into the field of play, away from the danger zone of the touchline. And that's Scott taking it into Logan's territory. Dwyer, Roberts, carted forward here by Luke Scott. They're 10 into Logan's half. Options left and right here. They're going to go to the left to Eyre, and he's got men outside him, but Hinchy wasn't ready for it. Lost it forward, picked up by Dutton for Logan. 6 to go as Dutton plays the ball, and now Ryan Russell picks up 10 metres. That was handy. The sun coming out now. We've had just about all the seasons of the year in half an hour. As caught with the ball there is Cameron Durnford on the halfway. Taking over that dummy half roll is Paul Fisher, and out wide Rorschley makes a good run. The completion rates now, after quite a deal of drop ball, 12 from 17 for Redcliffe, only 8 from 15 for Logan. But they're still in the game, only 6 points behind, with 9 minutes to go to half-time. Now the pass out wide, nicely turned back inside too by Bowman. Here's Ireland, can he go all the way? Gets the pass away, Dutton couldn't pick it up, and instead it's dived on by Barry Denduck for Redcliffe.
All the good work there being undone. It was almost an impossible situation for Ireland. He was desperate to get the ball away, but when you're being swung around by that, Damien Richters makes the break. Denduck back on the inside, he won't need him, and Redcliffe hit back immediately after Logan looked like they were going to put points on the board. Redcliffe showing their class, the ability to counter-attack. They've gone the length of the field through Damien Richter's. And as I say, an attempted pass by Ireland when he was being swung around, went to the Dolphins, and really Logan had never recovered from that situation. Damien Richter's taking a little bit of time to recover as well. Let's see how easy this is. Stepping back on the inside, almost too easy. Players almost ignore it. Brett Bowman turned his back on him. He wasn't interested at all. And Barry Denduck in support. Also Roberts. No one at home at all. Of course, Ireland was one of the players, the fullback, who'd been involved in preceding plays. There's Bowman. He just let Richter's go back on the inside. Brendan Lindsay just threw out an arm. And Damien Richter's came out the other side. The attempted tackle by Crilly, he was never going to get to him. And away goes Damien Richter's to really make it difficult now for the Logan boys to get back into this match.
He's a little bit deceptive in pace too. He's faster than he looks, Damien Richter's, and he was able to just out-sprint Crilly's desperate ankle tap attempt there at the last moment. And once he got past Crilly, he was home. And of course, he had two supporters inside anyway, so there was always going to be a Redcliffe try. In the end, he didn't require either of those and was able to go over and score the try. And there was just one man coming across Phil Schulbach who all that he could do in the end was to try and make the kick more difficult. So that's how difficult he's made it. It's still not all that tough a situation, but of course, given the breeze, which you have to allow for, so Richter's in converting his own try, he'd still be feeling the effects of that run too, because it's not much fun running 95 metres to score a try. I'm sure you know all about it, Warren.
Not often enough, Jerry, unfortunately.
It's a horrible sight when you suddenly find yourself in the clear with that far to go.
Warren, did you run 95 and still get caught, did you?
And he goes with the conversion attempt, and he's put it through. And so Redcliffe now lead by 18 points to 6.
I just didn't run 95 very often. But you've got to remember, you've got Damien Richter's. Look at the speed here. And Redcliffe have lost Mixie Lou and Ben Rodder, two very good centres they had last year. But he brushes away from two tackles. Brendan Lindsay. Darren Crilly came again. He chased hard to try and make up for his missed tackle, but wasn't quick enough. And that's a fine run by Richter's. And very timely try moving up towards half-time.
Certainly was, and Logan will regret that they didn't show just a little bit more patience after they'd had some good attack. Ireland made a good bust, but as I say, was being spun around and was really a high-risk play to try and offload in that situation.
It actually reminded me of an old friend of yours, Warren, Teddy Goodwin, whom I saw in his later days when he was carrying a bit of weight, do exactly that. And he said later that he almost died when he saw how far he still had to run to get there. And he only just made it in time, but did manage a 95-metre try.
It's worse if you're a front rower, Jerry.
Well, we never have to worry too much about it. I wouldn't have got anywhere near 95 metres.
No, they just look for the winger after 5.
And hope they're there. Sean Ireland. Ireland, who's looked dangerous, but also been involved in a couple of plays that have surrendered possession. Phil Schulbach. I'd say Logan would still consider themselves a pretty good chance in this match. They'll have the breeze in the second half, but really they're going to have to value possession a little bit more than what they've done so far. Keeping the ball alive was Durnford. Pass up here to O'Regan. O'Regan out to Bowman. Bowman looks for support again. We've got the two centres on the right-hand side, but he couldn't find Dutton. Nice long pass there from Terry O'Regan. Up there to John Daly. Good tackle too to bring him to ground. Almost copybook it was by Sanderson. Up there to O'Regan. Decides to use the breeze. Puts a bit of pressure on Adam Mogg. Coming through is Dutton. Mogg beautifully up in the air. Rock solid. Took it on the chest. Brought it to ground. Diffused any problems they were under. And Redcliffe also prepared to keep the ball alive. Barry Denduck gets the ball off Hinchy. Beautiful work from Adam Mogg. Under a bit of pressure as well. Got up high. Took it nicely. Barry Denduck trying to dash up the blind side. Redcliffe looking dangerous. James Hinchy using that blind as well. Rawsley gets hold of him. Hinchy pops it out the back. They get it out to the right-hand side. It'll be interesting. Luke Scott, he keeps it alive to Roberts. Roberts out to Mogg. Mogg's got a little bit of room to move and is dangerous. Brett Bowman covering him back inside to Trent Lease. And nice work by Fisher to cut him down. Roberts.
It's good defence all round from Logan there, because Mogg can be a very dangerous player. Lease can be as well, but they just couldn't find a way through, and they certainly tried everything. thing.
Yeah, they slid very nicely on it. Pass back on the inside to Adam Mogg. Into a bit of no, it's Roberts. Into a bit of open snow. It was Adam Mogg, actually. He finally got the ball away, but it's gone over the dead ball line. And Adam Mogg just starting to inject himself into the game now. He doesn't need a lot of room to move, and he just sliced up the middle between players. They converged. He got the kick away, but it went just too far.
You have the feeling that Adam Mogg has grown in confidence after taking that bomb, and he wants the ball.
Logan, meanwhile, are on their own 30 with all the work in front of them, trailing by 18-6 and only a couple of minutes left in this first half. Clayton Marr and James Hinchy doing the tackling. So it's a tough situation for Logan. They've really got to score if they possibly can before half-time. That was Shannon Hill.
Keep your tackles down as well.
Hill back.
This is a big penalty, this one, Jerry, because it gives them a few extra metres and restarts the tackle count, obviously. Logan are going to need that if they can get points on.
And as I said, they really do need these points. So John Daly takes the tap. And Lindsay with the run around, and now linking up out wide with Terry O'Regan. Can he get the pass away? Yes, he can effectively to Hilt. And he slipped it away nicely then to Cameron Durnford, who also keeps it alive. So some good play here from Logan. Rorschley's a man at dummy half. And Lindsay with the offload now. Well, I was wondering just exactly what Ryan Russell was doing. And
He's in trouble.
he was injured. You can see that he just seemed to be leaning as he was going with no opposition, and it doesn't look good either. So poor Ryan Russell would be...
Well, unlucky there for Ryan Russell. You could just see him there. He's got that right knee
That's where
strapped.
it happens.
And he just propped on the left leg, actually. He's got strapped. And he just propped on it. And at that instant, the knee, you could say, gave way on him.
He's done something terrible there, cruciate or something. You could just see that snapped in mid-run.
And he's in a lot of pain, than Ryan Russell. He ran a nice angle there too to get through the defence. And as he tried to straighten, he put all his weight onto that knee. You can see the strapping that obviously was protecting an older injury. And Logan, who it looked somewhat threatening in the build-up there. They've still got about 3 or 4 more tackles in this set of 6. And stretcher out there for Ryan Russell. Quite a good crowd now has come out after some poor conditions just before the kick-it. Let's have another look at this. There's Russell just as
he's in trouble already there.
Yeah, he's on his way down in quite a degree of pain. Bad luck from Russell. We saw him score a try 2 weeks ago against Wynnum, and they'll miss his strong running.
He already has that knee strapped, so there may have been some existing problem, but that is terrible luck for the winger.
Yeah, Logan didn't need to suffer a loss of a player at this stage. They're going to they've got the job in front of them right now, but what they're after is points on the board before half-time. Redcliffe are yelling 3 steps. That is, take the first 3 steps, get up off the line, put a bit of pressure on them. Pass up that time to Shannon Hilt. That's the 3rd tackle, so they've got a little bit of time to continue the build-up. Lindsay back on the inside to Rorschley, throws the dummy. Hinchy didn't take it, and he's co-second rower in Luke Scott to come over the top. Pass up there to Brendan Lindsay. Terry O'Regan fires the pass out to Brett Bowman, back on the inside. But plenty of Redcliffe defence there. They do slide particularly well, Redcliffe. That is the last tackle. Terry O'Regan, good crossfield kick. There's the chasers on the spot. Ball bouncing awkwardly. Denduck picks it up, but can't get away from some desperate defence there from Darren Crilly. Well, the ball came free. They just didn't have the people there, Logan, to capitalise, and Denduck picked up the scraps.
Yep. There it is, the kick, and it bounced the right way for Logan, but nobody was standing back just off that ruck, which, if you've got enough numbers, I suppose, but you've got to have the numbers. But in the end, Redcliffe were able to get away, and it hadn't have been for Crilly, it might have been a try to Redcliffe, actually, because Crilly was just able to grab Denduck before he ran clear. Now Roberts with the kick, downfield, and on that far side, the knock on, well, Disappointing over there for Phil Shulbach coming up with the knock-on, and so Redcliffe have got 45 seconds. They'll have one play. No, they won't even have that. So the half-time hooter goes, and so at half-time, it's a handy break for the Redcliffe Dolphins over Logan. Logan will have all the work, but they will have the breeze in the second half.
This news update is proudly brought to you by Victoria Bitter.
Tonight on the late edition Fox Sports News, Vijay Singh wins the US Masters. Singh Carter the final round of 69 to win by 3. Richmond star Matthew Richardson out for the season. Northern Eagles prop Mark O'Neilly also bound for a long stint on the sideline with a broken ankle. Commonwealth Games gold medalist Heather Turland out of the Olympics, and we talked to Davis Cup captain hopeful Wally Masur. Full details 10:30 Eastern.
Showtime is on a quest to find the owner of this glass slipper. She must be strong. Oh! Rebellious.
What?
And passionate.
You swim alone, climb rocks. Is there anything you don't do?
Fly.
Ever after. Coming soon to Showtime.
Rob Alexander gets the second half underway. Rob, the referee, of course. And it's Logan. First possession. O'Regan offloading the pass. And it's counted forward there for Logan by Cameron Durnford. And now they get the first penalty of the second half, Logan. And as David was just saying, there's not much breeze around in this second half. So Redcliffe certainly know the conditions pretty well. Although as Dave sits down alongside me, I get just a puff of breeze that's come through because it's blowing. We thought we were in for a dreadful afternoon, having the wind and rain coming in on us, but it hasn't turned out that way at all so far. So Logan in possession. Offload there from Lindsay to Durnford, and he takes the tackle 12 from halfway. Getting into dummy half there is John Daly, and it's a good run, I think, by Rawsley up to the halfway mark. So Logan starting pretty well. Durnford again. He's been involved a couple of times in this set. So now they've gotten into Redcliffe's territory. What can they do with it? Lindsay will try the kick, and low trajectory one, but Adam Mogg, who's a really good caretaker at fullback there, getting an awkward bounce, but still coming up with sure hands and following him through. Lindsay is able to take him to ground. So Logan have done the right thing in getting Redcliffe down inside their 20. Now, obviously, they would like to try and keep them there as Lease takes it out. I know we've got a couple of the ball boys down there who want to say hello to their Nana, Joan, who lives at Noosa. So a very special hello to Nana from the boys, because they say, Joan, that they love you. So isn't that great? The ball boys in the game here today. Now, that's the fifth tackle, and Redcliffe are still on their own 30. So the kick from Glen Eyre now, he's been knocked over by Crilly. That'll be an interesting one. And we'll see if Rob Alexander decides to do anything about it. Now he says play on as Phil Shulbach takes the ball across field and is tackled on his own 20.
He thought about it, Jerry. He might have, I think there's only about a millisecond in it between whether or not he thought it was a tad late. I like the way Logan have started this second half, though. They really seem to be fired up. They put some good pressure there on Redcliffe. Redcliffe aren't asleep either, I might add, but Logan are showing that they're going to give it their best shot in this second half as Rawsley comes in the left-hand side. Well, somebody was asleep there, and it was Darren Crilly. Just managed to get awake in time. Quickly in there, Daly to dummy half, and Lindsay gets away a hurried kick. And that's how quickly you can lose your momentum. One play that doesn't get the forward play that you're after, and all of a sudden you're in putting a desperate kick away. Adam Mogg to play it down a blind side. That ball's been knocked down, but offside. The marker in an offside position, and Redcliffe will get the penalty.
That probably also highlighted how you just can't afford any lapse in concentration, can you? You've got to be concentrating and thinking every moment that you're out there. Down on the sideline, Neil Wharton, the new Redcliffe coach, is with Warren Boland.
Neil, in the first half, they took their chances. That must have been pleasing.
That's about the only thing at this stage that we're happy with. They had a couple of opportunities there, and, you know, there was some good tries there from Damien Richters. I thought it was a good effort, but, yeah, we'll take them.
I thought the kicking game through most of the first half, apart from one out on the floor, was pretty solid.
Yeah, we were very wary of the kicking game, and it was a bit windy before the kick-off, and, you know, I was pleased with a couple of them, but, you know, we're looking for a better completion of our six, and, you know, that's only one of our areas, but we've got to work on.
What other improvement are you looking for in attack?
Well, the attack, we're not going forward. No one's going forward with the ball in their hands. On the odd occasion that we have, I think Glenn Eyre took the ball to the line and he scored a try from it. And the challenge for us is to take the ball to the line. We're just sitting back watching a couple of players play footy and the rest of us are having a holiday.
The defence on your own line at least held out most of the time?
Yeah, I'm pleased with our defence. Our defence has been good all year, and that's one of the things that we've been working pretty well on. But, we need to get up off the line a lot better. We're just waiting for them, and, the contact's solid, but the work inside and off the ball is not good enough.
Right, Neil, all the best.
Thanks very much.
Logan now to work their way out of their own territory. The high ball previously was put up by Campbell. And Logan... both sides, you can really hear that they're realising this next 10 or 15 minutes is absolutely critical to the outcome of this match. Durnford, Cameron Durnford. Paul Fisher, a little bit of fancy footwork, but and a great deal of forward momentum. That is the last tackle of this set. Terry O'Regan gets the line. Nice little kick as well. And will he find touch? Yes, he will. A couple of metres out from the corner post, and that will, I'm sure, please Logan City coach Gary O'Brien. He's with Warren.
Gary, too much drop ball, particularly in the tackle in the first half.
Yeah, mate, we just didn't control the footy at all. It was disappointing.
Any particular reason that were you losing it in fairly simple situations?
I think so. I just think we weren't tough enough in our mind to just make sure we controlled the football.
The finish seemed to me to be lacking too. You got down to their 20 a few times. You weren't able to put more than the one try over.
Yeah, we didn't. We had a couple of opportunities down there. We didn't really create much, did we?
What are you looking for in the second half?
I'd just like us to control the football a lot better, obviously, and I'd like us to have a bit more punch in tight. And as you said, when we get down there, put something on.
Neil Wharton said his side's not getting the go forward. You sound as if you've got the same fault.
Yeah, I just don't think either side was really charging in the first half. It didn't look to have that, that impact early. Hopefully we'll see something a bit better in the second half.
Right, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, mate. Just if I could, too, just to send a quick cheerio to Kevy Muller, who's our first life member at Logan, who unfortunately had a leg amputated yesterday. So all the best, Kevy, and the PA.
Good on you, Gary.
Thank you.
Strong defence coming in from Logan to keep Redcliffe inside their own territory. Troy Lindsay will be forced to kick from inside their own 40, and Gould may go for a 40-20. Comes off the side of the boot, but it's pretty easily covered here by Phil Schilbach, who has looked dangerous a couple of times. He's almost come through the line. Sean Ireland looks for Bowman on the left. Not a great deal on out here, so Bowman cuts back on the right-hand side. If he keeps going to the fringe and gets a little bit of support, it could have been interesting, but plenty of players standing there with their hands on hips. Pass up this time to Paul Fisher. Good tackle there by Damien Richters, rushing up to make the tackle. Very flat pass there up to Clayton Marr. Keeps the ball alive, pops it out the back to John Daly. And the Redcliffe defence rushing up to make sure he doesn't offload. Brendan Lindsay, a little bit of room to go forward. Pass up to Grant Dutton. Gould comes across with a high arm.
Don't shout at me. Don't shout at me. It's a penalty because number 6 pulled the ball out, okay? That's what the penalty's for. There's the answer to your question.
The high shot wasn't any reason for the penalty. No, Gould was well and truly under the shoulder, but you can see there Glenn Eyre getting in to attend to the football, and a great chance now for Logan.
Yeah, Durnford on the attack. There you can see they're very close to the line. So what can they do with it? Daly sends it away to Lindsay. Man racing onto the ball, and they're only 6 or 7 metres short of the line. Trying the short side now to O'Regan. Back inside, Durnford slips it away there to Sean Ireland, and still he can't quite get through. John Daly, Lindsay. Long pass out to Crilly. Beautiful pass from Crilly onto Dutton, and he scores. Grant Dutton goes over for Logan. And that's exactly as Dave was saying, these are 10 crucial minutes, and they were most crucial for Logan. They had to score, and they've come up with an excellent try.
Nice work this from Logan. Beautiful work here from Brendan Lindsay. Let's have a look at it. If we just hold it there, we'll see what's going to happen. We've got a couple of players on the outside. The straight run by Dutton is the one that's going to make the difference. He'll come through here. It appears he was going to be the dummy runner. If we let this go, we'll just see what happens. The pass up there. There's the dummy. There's the run by Dutton. Nice work through Crilly's hands. And Dutton comes through on that strong straight angle. Up there to Crilly. There's Dutton coming on the angle. So often we see that as the dummy runner and popping the pass back on the inside. The pass up to Dutton. And Logan have got the points they were after in this first half. Very, very impressive. Grant Dutton's second try. And he's looking now to have all the points for Logan if he can convert.
Of course, Richter's scored a try and has kicked a few goals for Redcliffe as well, so a few point scorers in both teams. But Grant Dutton looking to add the extras to his try. And up go the flags. And now it's just 18-12. And Logan, with the what little breeze there is behind their backs, in with a chance.
Logan getting a reward for exerting some pressure on Redcliffe in this second half. Moving it wide, Brendan Lindsay shovels it a little further, and then Crilly holds up the pass beautifully. A soft pass, and the defence was flat-footed. They had to wait. They didn't know where the ball was. Was it going to be a long pass? Was it a short pass? And Dutton hit it hard.
Just what Logan wanted, as Terry O'Regan passes it on to Durnford again, and you can see the new spring in the step of Logan. They realise that they've got a chance here of causing an upset and beating Redcliffe. And when I say upset, sure, they're up there on the competition ladder. But they've pointed out it's whom you beat can be pretty important as well. And if you can, any team can come to Redcliffe and come up with a victory, well, then they can go home with every reason to be satisfied with themselves. Here's Crilly now. Oh, slipping a nice pass away too, and taken from Lindsay and offloaded now to Bowman. But plenty of defence there. Lease is the man who has a hold of him up top. Now that has to be a penalty, surely, and it is indeed.
The culprit's the same man too, Jerry. Glenn Eyre, who was involved in stealing a ball instant a little earlier. And here's Logan with a terrific chance. Glenn Eyre, the man down the bottom in the early stage of the tackle, just came around on the far side and popped the ball out. That's silly play. Cameron Durnford hits it up nice and hard.
I think Glenn Eyre thinks the Queensland Cup refs aren't as smart as the NRL refs, but he's getting caught all the time.
Leighton, strong run, good quick play the ball too. They can keep searching down the far side. Crilly pops the pass up. Beautiful quick hands out to Fisher. Fisher tries to come back on the inside. Beautiful hands it was by Grant Dutton. Up here to Lindsay, bounces through, wasn't knocked on. He managed to come back and get a hold of it. Out there to Terry O'Regan. O'Regan, a long pass out here to nobody. Schulbach just gets a hold of it, manages to stay in field, but is driven back. Well, there again, the momentum going out of it because the passing wasn't as crisp as what it should have been. Damien Durnford will be forced to settle when you don't want to be settling on a fifth tackle. Down a blind side, O'Regan going to try the big high kick again. Hooked it too far, I think. Adam Mogg has to play it if it takes it comfortably. And Redcliffe will breathe a sigh of relief. They really didn't continue the good build-up that existed in the early tackles in that set of six.
Well, Gary O'Brien at half-time has obviously had an impact.
Head clash, Jerry. There's two players from Logan down. They're playing 11 men now, Redcliffe. And the ref will stop the game now. There's two players in quite a bit of trouble. Terry O'Regan is one.
What's your problem, James?
And Damien Durnford. They come from opposite sides, and ouch. Ouch. Both stunned. Damien Durnford.
You can hear the crack of skulls from where we're sitting. So they really did hit hard.
Something wrong with you.
So that's a real blow when something that's obviously purely accidental.
Well, we've got the chance.
Start. Durnford's up and on his feet.
Yeah, that's good news. Jerry, well, we've got the chance. I think we'll see much better handling in this second half. The clouds have cleared away somewhat. There's no rain around. And I got hold of the footballs at half-time, and there are some bald patches on the ball. The dimpled surface is just not there. And as soon as the water gets on it, you can feel it's slippery. And even the ball boys said when they collect the balls from a penalty shot, it's quite slippery from the moisture and the sweat.
Well, good to know you've been doing some research down there, Warren.
Well, I couldn't believe the handling. These are supposed to be wet weather dimpled footballs, yet the ball's spilling left, right and centre. Now we know why. They're old balls.
Yeah.
Or too old anyway. It's just in patches that the surface isn't rough enough.
Oh, it really is interesting, and you wonder how the players would feel about the balls. I mean, maybe sometimes new balls can be slippery as well, so...
Well, I think these synthetic balls are better new. The old leather days,
sure.
The new balls were slippery.
Little kick over the top now, and Redcliffe have pinned Logan down there, but nicely picked up by Sean Ireland. But well followed through. Damien Richter's up there very quickly and ensuring that he stays down there. Now Phil Schulbach again. He's made some great runs, and here's a beauty. Right through, only Adam Mogg to beat. And slipping to the ground, 8 from halfway. John Daly in there quickly, kept alive now. Nice offload to Nick Myers. He's left the ball behind, though. So that's disappointing because they were really on a bit of a roll there. And what a game Phil Shilwalker's having. He's running out of his own territory. He's just been fantastic today.
Yeah, he's been very dangerous. He's certainly got a turn of speed and the ability to beat a man. He is quite deceptive. He's gone between players as he did on that occasion. And he's really catching the defence unawares. But really, after the good work again, Logan surrendering possession, and Redcliffe now back on the attack through Adam Mogg. He can make his own break. Can't quite hold his feet, though, as he stumbles forward. Michael Roberts slips down the blind side. Up there to Damien Richter's, driven back in the tackle by Crilly. Big Adam Starr up the middle. You can see what they talk about, these flat passes now. They're all intent to get a very flat pass off the dummy half if you're going to go forward immediately. Pass up this time to Sanderson. Defence manages to wrap up the ball as well. Roberts at dummy half. Up here to Air. Air throws the dummy, straightens. That's the fifth and last. Roberts quickly into dummy half. Out there to Gould. Has to go back a little bit to get the ball, but then still looks for a little pocket play. Picked up there by Paul Fisher, I think it is. He's been forced to play out on the right wing, Fisher, after Ryan Russell suffered what appeared to be quite a serious knee injury in the first half. They've been forced to put a player like Paul Fisher out on the right wing, and Fisher can be quite creative in the middle, and therefore they're probably suffering a double whammy there. John Daly.
Logan looked like they might be ending up like the Brisbane Broncos last night, David, having to completely reorganise their team, because I think O'Regan's gone off after that head clash with Durnford as well, and Durnford went off, and that's why Paul Fisher's been forced out on the wing.
Well, it's certainly going to need...
O'Regan's on, my apologies. He is out there.
You're going to need everybody on deck, even if you've got a couple of minor bumps, because there's a lot of pressure coming from Redcliffe each time they're in possession. Damien Richter's complaining that he might have been caught high. Sanderson, there's the flat pass, takes it forward. Dwyer at dummy half, goes down a blind side to Bob Campbell. Campbell tries to stride through the tackle, but the defence manages to wrap him up. Dummy run by Starr up to Roberts, out here to Gould. Gould got a player on just on the outside, was Adam Mogg. Came from inside out, created a half chance as well. The defence just managing to wrap him up. That's the fifth tackle. Gould first receiver. Got Roberts, who overran him, decides for the high ball, and Fisher decides, Paul Fisher that is, decides to let it bounce, and he hoped for the ball to bounce out, and it did. Loose head and feed now to the Scorpions.
18-12 in favour of Redcliffe. But Logan have looked good in this second half. Now will be a testing time for them down in their own territory.
Keep that up, fellas.
Be keen for them.
Yep, let's get going,
their coach, Gary O'Brien, will be very keen for them to get out of there and get out of there effectively. And here's the man who's been doing it effectively, Silver. Caught just outside his own 10. Brilly. Look at that welcoming committee there. 3 Redcliffe players moving up very quickly in defence, and he's lost the ball. Yep. So Redcliffe will come up with it. 20 out from the line, and so the Dolphins have a great opportunity here. Bit of patting on the back going on down there amongst the red and white of Redcliffe, but of course Crilly shaking his head. The completion rates there now 23 from 28 for Redcliffe and 20 from 30, and here's a chance for Redcliffe, and Gould's over. Tony Gould, oh, that was wonderfully deceptive play from the very experienced Tony Gould. He broke from the scrum, but he wasn't finished there. He sent a beautiful dummy to Roberts. Everybody fell for it, and Gould was suddenly in the open, and off he went for a try. He's again showing those many skills today. Here you see it again. He picks it up. There was the dummy. For all the world, it looked like it was going to Roberts, and O'Regan certainly thought that it was, but Gould said, ha, fooled you, I've got 4 points.
Couple of things here, Jerry. Screw the scrum to the side, you're going to run, and then if your opposition is in a bit of disarray in terms of players playing out of position, then the chances are, if you create something down that blind side, as Gould did, Terry O'Regan just overread things. The opposing lock forward for Gould had been totally taken out of play by screwing the scrum to the right. He was taken to the far side, and Gould then, with enough awareness to throw the little dummy, send O'Regan on his way, and in doing that, opened the line up for him to continue on and score it. But Logan suffering from errors inside their own territory. And Richter's to try and keep his 100% record intact. Not a problem from right in front. And Redcliffe extend their lead out to 24 points to 12.
From the scrum, the Logan lock didn't break with the play. He broke to the far side, and that left it against 2-on-1. Tony Gould's too smart there. O'Regan keeping an eye on Roberts. Gould with the short dummy, and away he goes. And that's just too easy, and the dropped ball on the previous play from Logan, just handing over possession to Redcliffe from the scrum. It's just too costly. It's killing him, these drop balls. And if it's a slippery football, well, it seems to be more slippery for Logan today.
What's got to happen in a defensive situation like that too is the second rowers really must break quickly. If you've got a very wide blind side from the scrum, you've really got to be out almost as soon as the ball is in to assist your halves in that defensive situation. And Logan basically asleep, still in the scrum, the ball had gone.
And as you pointed out, David, Paul Fisher nominated as a Logan lock forward, currently playing on the wing, so whoever was slotting into lock forward probably wasn't quite awake enough.
Exactly.
Brad Talon has just pointed out an interesting statistic as well, and that's the fact that Redcliffe have completed 20 of their last 22 sets, which is a terrific situation given the amount of lost ball that we had early in the game.
It's a great turnaround by the Dolphins, and if they get that sort of possession, they'll make it very difficult for the opposition. And I guess the other point too, Jerry, is that if Logan had have done anything similar, they'd still be in a reasonable position, but instead they've been continuing to surrender possession, and Redcliffe have capitalised. Phil Shilbach can't make the break this time. Myers. But Redcliffe realising if they can just keep the pressure on here, they'll make it very difficult for the Scorpions.
David, number 14 for Logan, Nick Myers, is the brother of Bradley Myers from the Toowoomba side, and young gun Bronco.
And he looks an impressive young kid as well. That's the fifth tackle. Logan forced to kick somewhat defensively. Terry O'Regan will get it to bounce. Trent Lease, who's been eyed by a number of NRL clubs.
And he's been well covered today, hasn't he? Hasn't had too many opportunities. Playing the ball to Adam Mogg. Richter's on the far side. Has also been impressive, and Dutton has his measure right over the top so that he can't get away, nor can he let loose the ball. Luke Scott's left it behind, and Logan have come up with it. So 6 to go for Logan, and they start the 6 in Redcliffe's half. Great opportunity for them.
Well, that's one out stuff there. They've left the little half-back high and dry there, no support.
And I don't know that they look too well organised at the moment, but Shannon Hill charging onto the ball. 25 out, he goes to ground.
Jerry, I'd be putting anyone out on the wing and bringing Fisher back closer to the action. I think he's a player who can create. I mean, almost anyone can play on the wing.
Dean Rorschley accepting one of those flat passes. Now the turn back inside to Sean Ireland, but he can't get through either, so he's tackled. Now only about 15 out. Back inside, Durnford's been off to get some bandaging over on the head, and Phil Shilbach cannot get through. So again, the defence, Barry Denduck up there, swallowing him, ball and all. Lindsay tries a high one across field. Pressure here on Richters. Richters takes it beautifully. Well jumped and well taken under pressure, and so a penalty now going to Redcliffe.
Yeah, great tackle, a great take there by Richters, and then he was brought to the ground and then rolled over in a second action to drive him back into the in-goal area. And that second tackle there by Brett Bowman brings about the penalty. The Dolphins get it another 20-odd metres away from their try line the easy way. Luke Scott, who started like a house on fire, brings it forward, picks up 10 metres. Good quick play the ball. Adam Starr down the blind side. Pops the pass up nicely. Strong defence there from Fisher on Lindsay. Little pass back on the inside. Luke Scott tried a awkward one. It's been knocked down.
It's been interesting to watch Adam Starr this afternoon because they bought Rob Campbell, and he's a great offloader, but Starr is also pretty efficient at doing that, isn't he? And so in those two big men who can make a break and offload, boy, if you were a player in the Redcliffe team, you'd be angling to be right alongside them every time they had the ball, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd follow them all the time, and as we mentioned before too, Jerry, if you've got two players that can do that, it is more than twice as easy to play with them because they take a lot of pressure off one another. And now Logan with a little set piece up there to Ireland. Create a bit of a half chance too. Ireland just can't get through. Good sliding defence there by Air, and also Denduck in there. Silvok, stuttering run out of the dummy half. Denduck chased him nicely. Daly pops the pass up there to Damien Durnford. Nice little settler. Got options either side. Brother Cameron was on the right-hand side, but John Daly runs out of dummy half to steal a few more metres. That's the fourth. They don't want any more settlers. Let's have a good attack play here. Lindsay down a blind side out here to O'Regan. Defence moves up quickly. Doesn't allow him any room at all to move. That's the fifth tackle. Good quick play. The ball will make it interesting. Bowman runs out of dummy half. Not much on. He'll have to do it himself. Brett Bowman just short.
Change over. Actually
held up over the try line, so Bowman got the distance he was after, but couldn't get it to ground. Good defence by the Dolphins in the end. They needed to be desperate.
Yes, they did. So Lease brings it out.
Come to me, Logan.
Logan unable to finish off, and they needed a try there because trailing by 12 points, if they're not careful, the game will slip away from them. And whilst there is a bit of a breeze in this second half as Adam Mogg makes some ground, it's not a telling breeze that's really going to give them any huge advantage. Tony Gould, after scoring that try, is tackled. Still 20 from halfway. Here goes Roberts charging onto the ball. Out wide, Barry Denduck is able to slip the pass away to Lease. Lease just didn't have much room, but he made room, and now just a fullback to beat. Can he run around him as well? To ground he goes, 8 metres short, and that was Sean Ireland with that tackle. That's the fifth tackle now, but they've got plenty of men out to the left if they can keep it going. That's what they needed, the long pass left behind by Hinchy. Kept alive though, back to Roberts. The referee said play on, kick into the in-goal area, picked up by Bowman, and Bowman is able to make it into the field of play, only just while he gets a penalty. And they're all offside, those Redcliffe players.
What a great passage of play that was. Trent Lease put away by a beautiful pass, and then he tried the little in and away on Sean Ireland. Well, Sean Ireland's done some great things today. None better than that tackle. He's been dangerous. He's had a couple of errors in there that have spoiled things a little bit, but all in all, he's had a very strong match. That was a great passage of play.
It was a try saver, that tackle, wasn't it?
Oh, brilliant. And Trent Lease, who had the whole park to work in, and tried the in and away, and Ireland did it pretty well.
I thought Lease could have made more of that. He's so fast, and he runs beautifully, but he really made it, well, it was still a great tackle, but he could have made it a bit tougher for the fullback.
Fisher just trying a little bit of fancy stuff on the wing, trying to get players to come around him. Logan, bit of pressure on there on Hilt. The ball's still alive up there to Rorshley. Good hunting defence by Luke Scott. Silvok wants a quick play the ball. Looks like he's keen to run out of dummy half, and there he goes. Holds the ball out in one hand, but slips over. Good quick play the ball. That's the fifth. They didn't make a hell of a lot of that. Lindsay, not the kick he was after. Hinchy picks it up quickly, fires the pass out to Richters, breaks the first tackle. And Lindsay rushes in to try and help out in the tackle with Crilly. Big Adam Starr up the middle. Daly rushed up that in to make sure he didn't get up too much of a head of steam. O'Dwyer, little pass on the inside from Roberts to Mogg. Mogg's just starting to look more and more dangerous as the defence tires. Craig O'Dwyer, nice little sleight of hand, couple of dummies. Almost goes right through the line. And Redcliffe on the fourth. Down a blind side. That's play on. Wasn't played at on. Hasn't been restarted. Yes, it has. Was actually played at. That's 6 to go. So this will be very difficult for Logan to withhold this onslaught. Sanderson. Dwyer wants to punch down a blind side. Runs out of the dummy half. Fires the pass up there to Richters. Richters has been very dangerous today. Made a couple of half breaks, including the full break that he made to score that long distance try. Up here to Glenn Eyre. Glenn Eyre fires a passer. Been knocked down there by Rorshley. And they'll get another set of 6 now. Can the Scorpions continue to hold on as Redcliffe get this glut of possession?
Well, Rorshley's gone for the intercept, but didn't really have too much chance of taking that ball. The end result was therefore always going to be advantageous for Redcliffe, and now here they have this great chance with a scrum.
And you remember, Jerry, Tony Gould scored a try from a very similar position from a scrum.
So they'll have to be watching that this time. Roberts decides to run by himself. He can be dangerous, and he's just 10 out. Glenn Eyre was going to be in a dummy half. Instead, Denduck gets in there, and here goes Adam Starr for the line. He's a star, all right. He's put it down underneath the goal post. Redcliffe are in again, and that'll be the ball game. 28 points to 12. and the Dolphins had to score because they just kept having set after set of 6. They had all the possession, and when you're hitting opponents with that amount of constant attack, eventually they're going to wilt, and that's what happened, and Starr was able to put it down for the try.
Logan had never recovered from the good break from the base of the scrum there by Michael Roberts, and the defence still rolling back. Adam Starr realised that they were on the back foot, decides another flat ruck, takes it strongly, cuts away from a defender, and then just goes between a couple more. Logan, a bit of fatigue coming through now. They've had a couple of players injured, and Adam Starr taking advantage of that, cuts away from a couple of very, very tired defenders. There was no drive in those tackles. There were 3 players around him, but no one even looked like hitting with the shoulder or driving with the legs. The only fellow that was driving with the legs was big Adam Starr, and he crashes it down right under the stick. So the 2 front rowers for Redcliffe have come up with tries under the posts from quite different circumstances. Campbell in the first half out of dummy half, and big Adam Starr on the back of the little halfbacks run, finishing to surge over, and as Jerry said, put the game, you would think, beyond doubt. Damien Richter's now to add the extras, I'm sure, from right in front, and knocks it straight down the middle. Commanding lead now for the Dolphins, 30 points to 12.
Yeah, you're dead right, David. The defence just wasn't tough enough for Starr. From 10 metres out, he wasn't met by the brick wall that you need right in front of your post, and he takes Daly, Crilly and Rauchley over the line. Too soft in the end, but a great work by Starr. He's big, he's strong, he took them on, and he did it just a touch too easily. Before the game, we wondered whether or not Logan could match it with the top sides in the comp. They've lost to Burleigh, East and Toowoomba. They've beaten teams lower on the ladder than themselves. Well, it looks as if today they are not going to be a match for Redcliffe.
Kick-off taken by Adam Mogg and immediately offloaded, and you can add to Adam Starr, his height as well is advantageous, so that when he hit those 2 or 3 players, in going to ground, even with them on him, you just had that reach to get the ball down too. Oh, that was a swinging arm that's gone straight over the top of Isra Budke there. And Redcliffe really are now dominant at 30 to 12.
And Jerry, we're talking about Adam Starr. He also took the first ruck in that preceding play and got a nice little ball away. So as you were mentioning earlier too, his ability to stand in tackles and offloaders. Barry Denduck again beats some tiring defence back on the inside. Adam Mogg, he should be able to go all the way. Short Island turns and chases, but he can't hack it with him. And the little speedman, Barry Denduck, up the middle. And good support by Adam Mogg. He just loves to follow the football, Adam Mogg. Barry Denduck exploiting a tiring defence. Logan haven't been able to withstand this torrent of possession by Redcliffe, and Denduck out of the dummy half position, puts the accelerator down, runs between 3 players. Adam Mogg screaming on the inside. Ireland was held on Denduck for just long enough to allow Adam Mogg the room to move, and he finishes off nicely.
Yeah, there it is again. Barry Denduck. It was a great run by him, and Adam Mogg, again, if a player makes a break, he always needs some support, and Mogg is that sort of player. He's been doing all sorts of things today, and so you can see the appreciation from him as soon as he got up from the try, his appreciation of the fact that it was set up beautifully by Denduck. And there's Mogg accepting the pass. Once he was in the clear with those long legs, he's got a big stride. He doesn't appear to be running all that quickly, but he would challenge anybody to try and pick him up. So 33 career tries, is that, or 33 career points? Career tries, 33 career tries to Adam Mogg, which is a pretty good record. They're making him easy for Richters, and he puts that one through as well. And now Redcliffe leads by 36 to 12.
Didn't Barry Denduck show some dash here? Really split them apart. This is great work out of dummy half. He realises the forwards are tiring. You can see a little hole, dashes past Hilt into the clear, and then realises that he's going to have difficulty beating Ireland. More to the point, he gets the call from Mogg. He eventually stopped dead in his tracks, changed direction, served up a lovely pass to Mogg. That's great work by Barry Denduck, and good backing up from Mogg.
Logan to restart. Mogg the receiver. Up here to James Hinchy. Back to Mogg again. Well, they're starting to a bit fancy now. The old double-double play. Mogg staying alive after offloading initially. Hinchy again involved. Denduck looking from dummy half. Almost thought about a run. Adam Starr instead to set. Pops the ball out nicely at the back. Through the hands Pass up this time to Olzard. That's the third. Denduck threatening from dummy half. Campbell, not a lot on, driven back in the tackle. Trent Lease up to Luke Scott. Daly takes him around the ball. Damien Durnford down low. Adam Starr pops the ball on to Tony Gould on the 5th. And Gould finds open space. And Fisher does pretty well to control it with the boot initially. Tries to straighten, got a good chase there by Izrabudki.
Challenge for Logan now is to keep interested in this game and to stay a part of it, because the last thing they want is a really complete blowout of 36 points to 12. They're trailing by 24 points and they can't really give up. So Phil Schilbach is caught on the 30-metre line, and now it's carted forward by Darren Crilly. So they've picked up 10 on that tackle almost. And another good strong run here, this time by Clayton Marr. Well, that pass is okay too to Fisher. And Paul Fisher taking the tackle, still about 5 short of the halfway line. Now Lindsay with the offload to Myers. Myers is able to keep it going. O'Regan, nice pass over the top to Schilbach. Now there might be something on. Schilbach has Bowman outside him. The kick ahead. Mogg will be the first one there, and he's able to flick it into touch in goal. So good defensive work there from Mogg, but that was good attacking play from Logan.
Beautiful backline movement from Logan. They were very close to the defensive Redcliffe line. Nice little pop on by Regan, and then just at the death there, the kick through by Schilbach, and just managed to be knocked dead by Mogg. As we said, Jerry, I think Phil Schilbach has looked very dangerous. A nice little skill there, went through the line, and a little grubber kick to get it into the in-goal area, kept the pressure on.
Redcliffe have played well today, but from the Logan point of view, if their handling had been better through the game, they would have given themselves a lot more chance. Having said that, their options at times have looked a little limited, and I'm looking forward to the day they do get David Bouvang back on the field in the centres, because that'll free up Grant Dutton, and he might provide some more thrust through the middle.
Rawsley takes the tackle about 33 out. Myers now changing direction. So Logan would, if they can come up with a try here, that will just sort of bring them back into it somewhat after they've done a tremendous amount of defending. The pass out wide nicely on there to Clayton Marr, and he takes the tackle, and they still keep it alive out to John Daly. Then further afield, Regan is met, but he still managed to get the pass away. Schilbach now holding up the pass, and Bowman was ready for it, but Schilbach going to ground, only about 10 metres out. That's Myers in a dummy half away now, and well, Sean Ireland absolutely charging at the ball, charging so much that at the last moment he might have taken his eyes off and has gone straight in and out again. And so Redcliffe come up with the ball once again. That's Izrabudki. No opening, so tries a run across field, and Rawsley has him.
Definitely the handling has let them down, Logan. They created something again there, Ireland into a bit of a half a gap, and he just couldn't handle the pass. Redcliffe now making an error, and this will allow perhaps the Scorpions to hit back late in the match for a bit of a consolation try, but really it's been their handling, as Warren said, that's let them down. They look pretty good in patches, but you've really got to control possession, and they haven't done that consistently. The Scorpions, a good attack ball up here to O'Regan. Base ball across everybody out to Schilbach. With frustration by the players there, saying, well, what was that? I mean, no one really wanted to get in and rectify it. Crilly. Daly at dummy half. Nick Myers. Good straight run. Strong shoulder charge by Campbell. Lindsay wants it and gets it. Quick hands too. Tries the pass out to Clayton Marr, and would you believe again it's gone on the deck. They really do try and push some passes under pressure, and that's largely brought them undone. Clayton Marr, who's worked hard, as they all basically have, haven't got the fruits for their labours. There's the completion rates, and Logan well behind there, 25 from 37. They've struggled. Even Redcliffe haven't been perfect in that regard, but they've been superior. Mogg just pushes it out to Sanderson. Redcliffe now just going through the motions. 3 minutes to go. And
Well, David, how do you think Redcliffe are going to go this year? Can they match it with the best in the comp? You know, there's 4 sides up there at the top within a couple of points of each other.
I'm sure they can, Warren. I think they're certainly one of the top sides. I mean, the standout side at the moment appears to be Toowoomba. They are just sweeping all before them. Redcliffe haven't actually played them as yet, so there's a little bit of time before that happens. I think it's the last game in the first round. That ball's been knocked forward by Bowman, so we'll get a scrum. But yeah, Warren, I think they bought pretty well in the off-season. As you said, they've had a fair changeover of talent. They've got a new coach in there, and 2 big front rowers who are very capable, plenty of depth, some good back line. But at this stage, you'd have to think that Toowoomba the side to beat.
Yeah, I think after Toowoomba won, putting 60 points on the board against Ipswich last night, they continue to be the ones everyone's watching. But teams like Redcliffe are only going to improve as they develop more and more combination through the year after that changeover in the off-season.
Okay, another 3 weeks we'll see Redcliffe and Toowoomba clash. You know, whether it's a round 11 game, and that should be a beauty.
It'll be a Friday night clash up at Toowoomba, so it will be. It could be an important game as well by that stage, but Toowoomba with a big win last night by 62-32 over Ipswich. It was the curtain raiser to the Brisbane Broncos 18-all draw against the Melbourne Storm. Little kick through here is picked up by O'Dwyer, and he's able to offload Regan rather, and so going to ground as Bowman, just 8 metres short of the halfway, left behind there by Darren Crilly. So another mistake coming from Logan, and unfortunately it has really cost them today. At times they've looked a very good side, but at other times it's been those constant errors that just keep on bugging them, I guess, right through this game.
Jerry, you see there Crilly dropping the ball. These days players hit it at the advantage line all the time. They're trying to get over that ad line to grab every metre they can, and I think players are starting to have a look because of that. Instead of being 5 metres back, taking it from deep, where you can catch the ball safely, then have a look at the defence, a lot of players are having a peep as they catch it right on that advantage line.
And you can understand them having a peep, because quite often there's a wall of about 3 or 4 players.
Well, you can understand it, but if you're going to hit the advantage line, you can't afford to do it.
Well, the most important thing is the ball, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yep.
You're right, the defence is racing up, so the time between catching and getting belted is very short, but that's the name of the game.
What a way to have a bit of fun on a Saturday afternoon. Catch the ball and get belted, and Denduck through again. This time he couldn't quite get the pass to Morgan. It was taken by Meyer instead. And Logan on their own 30 with about 45 seconds left in the game still can add a try if they can. Schilbach is caught 8 short of the halfway line. 36-12 in favour of Redcliffe. They've been the better side today, no doubt about that. Durnford with a nice offload, kept alive by John Daly, who's passed up the Masters this weekend to be with us this afternoon. And Darren Crilly takes it 5 metres into Redcliffe's territory. Further afield by Daly, now kept alive by Crilly, across to O'Regan, but O'Regan has nowhere to go and is met in a good tackle there by big Adam Starr. Now across to Lindsay, and then off it goes to Shannon Hilt, and he's lost the ball. Or Sean Ireland might have spilled it forward, I think. And so another mistake coming from Logan. So Redcliffe come up with possession again. And we must be pretty close to full time. The Star holds onto the ball, but still manages to slip it away and keep it alive. Now it goes to Adam Mogg, who after that little wander decides to put on the attack, and now the kick forward by Olzard. But I'd say that it will be picked up, indeed it is, by Schilbach. He takes the tackle, and that's it. Full time, and Redcliffe, as they always are, very difficult to beat at home, and have come up with another handy win against a resurgent Logan side. That's one thing that we must say about Logan. Whilst they've been beaten by 24 points here, it's been good to watch them a couple of weeks. Twice out of the last 3 weeks we've seen them in action in the television game, and they've earned that by acquiring points in the competition table. They're obviously an improved side, and if they keep on improving, there's every reason why we'll see more of them. Damien Richter's the man of the match for Redcliffe, and he scored one of those tries, of course. Campbell, Eyre, Richter's, Gould, Starr and Mogg all scoring tries, and Richter's kicked 6 goals, and for Logan, Dutton scoring all the points, 2 tries and 2 goals for their 12. So 36-12 victory to Redcliffe over Logan. They were the dominant side today. Next week, we've got another good one. It's Easts against a resurgent South at Langlands Park. We look forward to bringing you that match next Saturday.